Hey there, in this video we're going to show you how to fulfill an inventory request in Beacon. So first log into your account as an operations user, then navigate to the request section under the movements header, and then you can find the request that you need to fulfill. Open it up, and first what we'll want to do is review all of the details. So check out who's requesting it, check out if there's an associated event or if there's a preference card. All of this gives you additional context as to why this inventory is needed. And then you can scroll down and look at what's being requested. So review what the user is saying they need, and then your goal will be to select the inventory to fulfill those needs. So click Select Inventory in the upper right corner, and then whose custody you're going to be fulfilling from. So I'm an admin or an operations user in this situation, so I'm going to select from my organization. And the recipient will automatically be the user requesting the inventory. However, if they are a member of a distributorship, then maybe that inventory needs to go to the distributor that they are associated with. So if so, you can select that distributor here. Otherwise, click Next. And you'll see here a slightly different inventory selection screen than you might have seen throughout the rest of Beacon. It shows you on the left-hand side here what has been requested. So this is a really useful tab to use for reference. And then the next tab over is where you can search for the inventory. So use the search field here to look for the product lines or catalog numbers that is being requested. You don't have to fulfill everything that was requested by those users. You, as the admin, are in charge of determining what the users require. So once you've selected your inventory and move to the next step, it'll ask you to review, make any final changes, and then also make sure to go through this section on the right-hand side and make sure there's no details you want to add. So you can set a location for this inventory since it's being transferred. Any location you set would get assigned to all of the inventory that's being fulfilled. You can add transfer notes to provide additional context. If this is going to be used in a particular case or is replenishing a particular case, you can associate an event with this request fulfillment. Just select from the existing events that show up here in the drop-down menu. You can also select new consignment status. So is this inventory going to be loaned? Should it have a due back date? You can set a due back date for the inventory. So as that date approaches, you'll start getting notifications, as will the custodial user, that they need to return this inventory. And if you need to, you can change the hold status. So maybe this inventory needs to go into quarantine so it can't be used. And you can add search tags as user-defined search terms if there are other pieces of information you want to track. Then click Done, and that inventory will be added to this request as part of the request fulfillment, just like that. Now you have an option. So the inventory has been selected, but like I mentioned, we didn't select exactly what they asked for. So are we going to return to this request in the future to give them the inventory that they're requesting? Maybe it's backstocked, maybe it's not. So if we are going to return to this request and do subsequent fulfillments, then we want to click partially fulfill. That will create a transfer out of the fulfillment that we just did, but it won't close the request. It'll allow us to return to do another fulfillment, resulting in another transfer. However, if this is going to be the only fulfillment that we do on this request, then click fulfill, and that will close the request out. We are going to, for the purposes of demonstration, we're going to do a partial fulfillment and then a fulfillment. So we're going to show you how to do two fulfillments and then close out the request. So first, as part of my partial fulfillment, I want to show the user which items are not getting fulfilled. And then I'm going to put some comments as a reason for why it's not getting fulfilled. This way, when the user receives their shipping document, they'll understand that I knowingly didn't ship them this inventory and that it's going to be coming in a subsequent shipment. And then maybe these two items are discontinued. Now, and then I will click partially fulfill to generate the transfer for this fulfillment. There we go. We can see that this transfer was created to fulfill my inventory request. We can see here that the transfer is linked. I can click on that link to open up the transfer. And then if I show the packing slip, I can include the partial or not shipped items. So let's take a look at what that'll look like. So hopefully you're seeing my packing slip here. It looks just like a normal packing slip, except when it shows the items that are being shipped, it also shows me the items that are not being shipped. So it shows what was requested and that we weren't able to provide it, and then it provides a reason. So this is probably a best case scenario for how to manage when inventory is not able to be fulfilled. But then let's return to that request, because maybe we get some of this inventory in the future. And if that's the case, we want to fulfill it. We can select inventory again, go through the same process, select the devices that you're looking for. Again, I'll just pull a couple in to demonstrate our purposes here. Now we have our second fulfillment ready to go. And rather than clicking partially fulfill, which again will keep the request open, I'm going to click complete. And now you can see the request status has changed to fulfilled, and this request won't be able to be fulfilled again. So that's how you can manage partial fulfillments, as well as letting your users know when there's a partial fulfillment, and then how you can subsequently close out the request when you need to. So tune back in for more information on how to manage your inventory in our subsequent videos.